RAGS Beats.
Yes, everyone, welcome to the Rags to Riches podcast. This is the first episode of a very long series. I've got, as if you know me already, you know I know a lot of people in the industry that came from nothing, from the bottom, and they're doing very well now. My first guest to kick it off is my mate Dave, same name as me. Known Dave for a very long time. Dave actually started out just wheeling and dealing, buying and selling. Now he's one of Birmingham's top jewellers. What we're going to do today is just find out, how did he get there? It's good to see you again, man.
Good to see you, mate.
Let's spill the coffee. So, tell us.
Product placement.
How did you start out? What does young Dave look like?
Poor. Very poor.
Poor family, or?
Well, not great. The old man was a fireman and mum worked in the NHS, so it's a little bit of rags to riches from that respect. So, how I started was on the car boots with one of my pals. We had 100 quid together. I was in the building. £100 starter. That's what I had, 100 quid. Between the two of us, we ended up buying a load of handbags near the jewellery quarter.
Dodgy handbags, or?
No. Leather. Yeah, well, no, actually, the first lot was like granny handbags. We landed at a car boot near us and just got 2 pacing tables, handbags on, just see what we can do. And it went from there. We started to build that up.
So what did you make from that £100? Your first initial?
It was doubling up. We doubled up on everything, minus the costs of the. Minus the cost of like going to the car boot, like £7. Yeah. £7 for a pitch at the time, I think, maybe. We then went on to buy more and more. Fast forward a little bit, we ended up getting market stalls. We had a permanent pitch on Wellsbourne Market.
Yeah.
Well, we had like a few, they call them RMUs, retail mobile units, inside of like shopping centres. So we had like 4 permanent fixtures. And we had like the weekly ones, like Bescott Market, the classics in the Midlands, Bescott, Wellsbourne Market. Where else were we at? A few other ones dotted around that we were doing it, but at the end of it, I think we walked away with a good chunk of money. But being about 19, 20, it was gone within.
So how did you? Was people say to you, got the gift of the gab, you know that?
Yeah, something like that. I mean, obviously, like at the time with the handbags, it was like we were 2 young lads, a lot fitter than we are now. And we used to do. Fit? Women were, decent. At one point, we got a residency.
You did say granny handbags, by the way.
No. Hold on. No, we did develop into doing better handbags, like little like designer-ish handbags. Yeah. So all the young girls. I remember at the time, I think Paul's Boutique was massive.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can remember that.
I remember Paul's Boutique.
You remember handbags, yeah?
Yeah.
You was into them at the time. You know the big, the one with the, so they had all like funny little bits on and like we were selling them like something very similar to them kind of things, and that's when it sort of took off, that kind of stuff. And we got a residency inside Legs 11, a Spearmint Rhino.
Really?
Yeah, so we were just going around and funny enough, I was at Bescott Market and one of the lads that used to drive around.
What do you mean residency? Explain, what do you mean?
We used to be able to sit in every week or once a month, set up all our stuff and sell the handbags inside the strip club.
So what, would the men be buying them for the strippers?
No, not the men, we were inside.
Imagine you go into Legs 11, you bring your missus back a handbag saying, I bought you this.
No, it weren't like that, mate. This is the strippers buying them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because, mate, you know strippers are caked.
What do you mean I know strippers? I don't know strippers.
Yeah, no, well, we know for a fact that they're women that can earn a coin and they've got money. Yeah.
So you think that was you understanding what the people who had the money was?
That's when I first ever thought of, I've got to target an audience where people have money. Yeah. And they want to spend money.
Yeah.
People that earn and they want to look good, and that was the
So where's this £100 at now? This £100, where do you think it's at now?
The £100 turned into about 35 grand a piece by the time we'd left.
Was your brains just like blown? Like, oh my gosh, I had £100, now I've got 35. Or
yeah, it was.
Did you gradually get to the point where you were used to it?
It was lifestyle. It was a lifestyle job, mate. We were young. We were getting pissed. We were like.
I remember you bought was it a 350Z?
Yeah. This time 350Z.
Driving around.
Yeah, of course, mate. And we were like 19, and I was going to I was selling in a strip club, mate. I was 19, going up to a strip club, mate. We went into one of them. I won't say which one it is, but it's got like. I'd never been in one before. I was 19. Literally, all joking aside, I'd never been in one at that point in my life. And there was like leopard print carpets. So when it was a dark room, I've gone up, all upstairs, and on the side there's this like big picture, like an antique style picture with like some like Playboy looking bird with a fucking minge straight out, like staring at us. I'm looking, I was like, bloody hell. We've got to the top floor, and I don't know if you remember back in the day, it was almost like, you know, like a cut film. It's a little wooden office. Yeah. It had one of them aircon units with the paper flowing through.
Yeah.
And this guy that looked obviously like fucking straight out of fucking the London Underground fucking gangster scene was like, "You all right, lad? So, what's it to me? To what you're going to give me?" And I was like,
I take it we're doing swearing on this podcast then. We can keep that in, don't edit it out.
so basically I was like there, and he was like, "Right, so what are you offering me?" And I was with my pal at the time. I was like looking at him, I thought, fucking hell, what does this geezer want?
Is this guy the same guy that with that £100?
Yeah, same guy.
So you still together 35 grand later, yeah?
Yeah, well, that was at the very end. This is all through.
What do you mean?
We'd done it, as in like we split at the end of it and just decided to go our separate ways. Business partnerships don't always
Who
work.
had custody of the 35 grand?
No, that was about I think we split and just that was it. It was done.
Yeah.
But I mean, we were doing this while maintaining. So like anyone that knows that they've got a business, you've obviously got to keep stuff rolling. There's constantly stuff going out everywhere and getting paid for. So we were rolling that kind of money. It was good. Like we had assets as well, because we had the things like the pitch at Wells when you could sell that. Everyone gives you a finder's fee for it. I think we paid 16 grand for it.
Yeah.
Then we got about 6 in the end, but when you want to get out and things
you're not
go
always
sour.
winning. It's not.
No, you're not always winning.
You know, from this £100 to 35, were you ever minus along the way? Did you have any wobbly moments?
Of course, wobbly moments consistently. Well, if you don't turn up, or the weather, it's weather dependent on a lot of that stuff. So yeah, of course, there were times that it's gonna be hard. Like the money's not going to be coming in. It'll slow down. But in resale, I feel like that's.
Do you reckon?
Consistently throughout the retailers.
If I was to say, all right, teach me how to go from £100 to 35, do you reckon you could do that?
Do I think I could do it?
Do you reckon you could do it again?
I think I could do it again, yeah.
If I said to you, right, here's 100 quid, how long was that? How long did that take from that 100 to 35?
A couple of years we did it, to be fair.
A couple of years.
But when I say we ended up with that money, that was the money at the end. We were spending money. We were kids.
Yeah.
We were 19, so we were spending money. We were earning. We were still terrible now at spending. So
yeah, I know.
Like, so you know how it is. It's like, you know, you're spending it or you're making it. So I think as the end result, it was quite good. It just doesn't show a true reflection.
So then jewellery, then how'd you get into jewellery? How'd you go from 100 quid, moody bags, markets? Now how much is that watch? What watch is that?
Sky Dweller, blue face Sky
I
Dweller.
can't afford none of that. I've just got a good old Apple.
Apple Watch. The bollocks,
My Rolex is in the same.
Mate, this doesn't even say this isn't the right time. There you go.
So what would that set you back?
Probably about 25k now.
And that's just one of the few.
On the grey market.
Yeah. What's the grey market?
So not direct from Rolex, if you'd have to go to a seller, someone that was selling it second hand.
So not walk into like watches in Switzerland or anything like that?
Yeah, no. You wouldn't be able to walk into watches in Switzerland.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Oh, no way.
So
tell us then, so how did you go from that? How did you get into jewellery?
Went totally broke.
Yeah.
So when I was doing the handbags, I met a lad and he was like, "Oh, gold's the way forward." He goes, "Gold, you got to get into gold.
Yeah.
I was like, "Okay, let's have a little go at this." So he opened a little shop, and I was like, "I'll work it, blah blah. I want to learn it."
In the jewellery world?
No, this was in like Atherstone actually.
Oh, okay.
And it was fucking a bit backwards.
Sorry if you're from Atherstone, but yeah.
But it's a nice little town, but
everyone knows everyone.
Yeah. So I think a bit of an outsider. It probably wasn't the best place to start. Doing what we were doing. So, but it gave me a gist. I had to learn what to do.
And that was selling
I had to
gold.
learn how to deal with. Mate, I was always good with women. So if a woman came in, that was great. What I realised was it was mainly men-dominated environment when you're selling gold and stuff. So I was taken aback at first, because buying it and selling it, it's not as easy as you think.
How does that work then? Let me understand this. So you've gone from, right, we know that people want to buy handbags and strippers have got money, so let's go and have a residence in a strip club. Now, if I was to put Gold and Atherstone together, they're like opposites. Like,
Well,
who buys Gold in Atherstone?
To be fair, you know what it was? It was during, there was a little gold boom. I can't remember the years, probably 2000, 10 years ago. So, 2002.
2002.
2012.
2012, oh yeah, that's 20 years ago, yeah.
It's getting old, mate. That's what it is.
Yeah.
So during that time, there was a little bit of a gold boom. Gold had got to an all-time high at that time. And I remember these little shops were popping up everywhere. Like I said, I'd met this lad because we had an RMU in Tamworth, and he was like, this is the future, do you want to have a little go? So I had a little go in Tamworth, and mate, I'll be honest, this is one of the low points. I totally failed.
Really?
Totally failed. It just didn't get to where it wanted to be. I couldn't, mate. I didn't have enough knowledge. I didn't have, like I said, I wasn't used to...
You didn't know what you were doing?
I just didn't know what I was doing. I've got the try-hard attitude, God loves a trier. But literally, mate, if it's not happening, it's not happening. And I think that at that point, that was a bit of a low point. I'd done a few stupid things. I lost my licence.
Yeah.
Driving licence. I couldn't travel there. I was like, right, I was a little bit like, this has all gone to shit. I've made a bad mistake. All my backup had gone, my money had gone. I started again.
Yeah.
I then got introduced to another lad who was in the jewellery quarter.
Yeah.
And he said, look, mate, I'll teach you.
Yeah.
He goes, you want fucking shit money, but
yeah,
I'll teach you.
But you had that willingness to learn, yeah?
I was like, yeah, no, I knew it was the way forward for me. It's something I enjoyed.
Yeah.
I liked sparkly shit. I just like the whole lifestyle of it. I thought, do you know what, it's a bit of me, that is.
Yeah.
So I said, yeah, I'll do it. I said, I'll do it. I'll come in, I'll do it for nothing. Well, not nothing. Mate, what pretty much, I was doing like 40 quid a day.
So where was you living this, with your parents or your mum?
I was living with my mum, and I just met what is now my wife. And she'd picked me up, and I couldn't drive. Didn't have no business.
Yeah.
It was all this like, I was a hot shot like a year ago, and then like absolutely nothing. Like,
yeah.
Couldn't drive. Well, I could drive, but I didn't have my licence. I then went to do a job that was like 40.
So you didn't really have big overheads to have to worry about that. So you thought, right, I'm going to learn.
No, I'm going to learn. I still had to pay rent at home. My mum and dad were sticklers. We weren't very wealthy.
Yeah.
My mum and dad had done really well to get us in the area where we were.
Yeah.
But because they'd done really well to up, we were like the poorest in the area.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I mean by that?
Yeah.
I started to the jewellery quarter.
Yeah.
Learnt my way up. Built my way up in that company.
Yeah.
We rebranded the company, which I was very much a big part of. I then took over the company.
This is Mr. Chain, yeah?
Mr. Chain, yeah. So I then took over the company, but I was there from the beginning when we called it Mr. Chain, and then like it was okay. There's a few changing hands and whatnot, and I ended up opening the company Raw Grills, which is a gold teeth company.
Yeah.
And I did that adjacent. So on the evenings, I'd be like, right. I remember thinking at the time it's going to be a big thing, and it is.
Yeah.
The grills is so big at the moment, and we're probably one of the biggest names in Birmingham by a country mile.
Yeah.
Even now, like everyone was like, "Nah, it's a fad. It's not going to last."
Yeah, I remember coming to see you, and it's upstairs.
Yeah, it's upstairs.
You look like a proper dodgy dentist.
It's actually above.
It's
actually above Mr. Chain, so which is now it's about to move. I think we're going to get our own premises for Raw Grills soon, but yeah, It's been good, mate. It's a progression of I found something which would complement the company that I was with. I then opened that as a company.
So you learned going up, and then how do you end up acquiring? How have you now? You are.
Well, I then took over the company. I then bought the company.
You bought the company.
Yeah.
How did you do that? From getting paid hardly anything to learn to.
Well, I earned a bit of money off my grills company, which I'd built myself.
Oh, so you started to earn proper money.
I started to earn proper money. All of a sudden, it was like, oh no way! Like the grills is good, like. But the guy that actually owned it didn't want to have that much to do with it anymore, and he was like, right, I'm a bit bored of it, like blah blah.
So would you say that persistence just
100%
kept not stopping,
100% non-stop.
Got you to where you got to?
Had to keep going. And what it was, I realised, I think the grills. What happened to me was my old man died just about 2 weeks before I first had my first kid.
Yeah.
I think that was the only time in my life where I was like, shit, I've got to earn some money.
Really?
Because I had no. You know, my mum and dad didn't have money. At least I had someone to go on, you're going to do it all. Like, in the case of my old man, everything I said, I'd do the opposite because he was like, fucking, you can't do that.
Yeah.
So it'd be motivation for me to be like, yeah, fucking can.
Yeah.
You watch this, I'll fucking have this.
Yeah.
And,
it's that generational thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's that generational. And I think, to be honest, it was him being like, more scared that I'd fucking mess up. You know what I mean? I think he'd be scared that I'm going to mess up and like, don't do it. But in his own way, he motivated me to be like, fuck, right, I've got to get this done. But like I said, that was the case when my little girl was born. It was like, right, I've got to start earning some money. I've got someone else.
Yeah.
Like the missus, she's got a good job. She looked after herself. But when the kid comes, it was like, right, now time to step it up again. That was my point in life where it was like, right, I've got to start smashing it.
Yeah.
That was me. Like, right, today's like, what? I've got to look to the future. I've got to push my business. I've got to try and develop another business. Yeah. I ended up taking over the business that I was with.
And where are you today now? So you've gone. Handbags, learning jewellery, failing, learning jewellery again, making money out of
starting
grills.
again. Yeah, it was starting again.
Now you're here. You've got 25 grand watch on. You bought a card just so you didn't have to pay congestion charge. I don't even know what it is, but it's sick.
Yeah. So, mate, do you know what it is? It's not even about the money. It's not even monetary. Being a jeweller is the poorest job in the world.
What do you mean?
All your money's in this stock.
Yeah.
This is stock. Everything's stock.
Yeah.
So nothing's yours. It's in the business.
And
that's what you got to learn through like doing companies like that. They're like Grills is lovely. It's a business where you can earn money by making something.
Yeah.
You give the person the end product. They're paid for the labour and the skill. Mm-hmm. You haven't got to replace the product.
So do you think anyone can get into jewellery? Because you were anyone and you got into it, or do you think a special set of circumstances?
I think
persistence.
I think luck, chance, and a lot of things got me to where I am.
I think from listening to your story, I would say your try-hard attitude of not giving up, meeting a bit of luck.
The right people, luck.
The right people.
Luck plays a massive part, but persistent, you make your own luck, don't you?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, people make their own luck.
So what's next? What's the future for Mr. Chain? What's the future for...
what's the future for Mr. Chain? There's a few more businesses in the pipeline at the moment, so a few investments. Obviously, Mr. Chain would like to grow to bigger, maybe a few more Mr. Chains.
Yeah.
Maybe Mrs. Chain.
Mrs. Chain. He said he was good with the ladies.
Mate,
Mrs. Chain.
And, I think the future is gold, realistically, and whatever commodity it would be. I love gold now. I've got the gold rush, and I think I ain't ever going to be out of jewellery now.
Wicked.
I found my spot. Yeah. That's what I'm going to roll with.
Nice. Well, it's good to catch up with you.
Pleasure as usual.
Thanks for coming on.
Always.
Appreciate it. Everyone, as you can see from that, the important thing really with Dave's story is always be learning, always try hard, persistence.
Fucking try hard.
Try hard.
I never try hard.
Yeah. Your circumstances, obviously at the time, he said that he went broke. That doesn't define who he is now. He's doing all right. Now, if you want to join the Levelution and you want to educate yourself as well, use code ONETIME. What that does, it just wipes the enrolment fee. Little gift from me.
RAGS Beats.